So I'm just going to record a quick video about intermittent fasting while you're working. Even if you have like a stressful job or you're doing a lot of work and it's difficult to, I know one of the hardest things for me was to try to learn how to fast while I was working. I was able to do it, when I was on a vacation easily, or when I didn't have to work on the weekends, it was so much easier to fast. But the first thing really is to get your mindset right and to go into it knowing that it's really not that big of a deal to not have food in your system while you're working. The second thing right now is really important because if you're eating junk food, you're not going to be able to do this at all. You're just going to get dizzy, you can get sick. You have to make sure you're eating quality foods, like real food, actual foods, fruits and vegetables. Now, I want to get into the fruits. Too much fruit for me, it spikes my insulin too high and it'll make me crave food a little bit more. So the next thing is to know your metabolic type. And I'm going to show you this here in this book called How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. All right, so look, the book is How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. These are the metabolic types. So the polar type is pretty much equal as far as like oils, proteins, and carbohydrates. And then you have the variable type, which is a little more carbohydrates and a lot less oils and fats. All these depend on your lineage. Basically, where are your ancestors from, what part of the world? Because when we get to the equatorial type, they thrive on more carbohydrates, so they're going to be eating a lot more fruits, not carbohydrates like pasta and bread. Okay, as you can see there, these are the ratios. So when you go, so I'm more of a polar or variable type. I get more satiated with fats and carbohydrates. I think it has a lot to do with the area that I live in, up in the Northeast. But something interesting, when I first started doing intermittent fasting when I was working was when I was in California. The climate's a little bit different over there, so I was able to eat a little more fruits. But I was able to fast anywhere from 16 to 20 hours a day, even while working. And the way that I did this was to keep clean foods in my body. That was the most important thing, and knowing my metabolic type. So I knew I needed to eat more fats, healthy fats, and I knew I needed to eat a lot of protein as well, because I was doing a lot of moving around. I was still working out, and I was walking a lot. So these things you have to pay attention to when considering fasting at work. And it's hard at first to get over that hump, but when you get used to it, it's all worth it. So first thing is to have your mind right, know that it's possible, and don't slack because you're busy doing something, and don't reach for snacks all the time. Just know you can do it. The second thing is of course, you got to eat clean food. If you're snacking on pancakes and Doritos, it's not going to work. It just doesn't. You're going to end up getting really sick. And the third thing is to know your metabolic type. So when you make sure you know how to do all this, it's not as hard and difficult as it is. Now, I haven't been intermittent fasting like I used to in quite some time, but I'm going to start doing it because I had a little injury. I think I had a minor hernia in my groin area, and so I want to try to heal that naturally, you know what I mean? So it's not protruding out. I think I can heal it naturally. I've been fasting for about 18 hours now so far, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. The pain is going away, but I don't want I don't want to load up my intestines with food right now, which is what I've been doing, getting in the habit of doing with the job that I work now, because I'm constantly traveling around, driving. You know, my brain is always on alert, and I got into the habit of eating late at night, eating earlier in the morning. And so I'm just going to get back to the way I was a couple years ago when I first started intermittent fasting. And, you know, I'll document it, and I'll keep you posted on how it's going. You know, I usually lose a little bit of weight when I do this, which is okay. It's healthy to lose weight once in a while. You know, I gained weight back by not fasting, you know, probably about 10 to 15 pounds. But I'm sure I'm going to lose maybe about 10 to 15 pounds in this process. I already lost a couple pounds, actually. It's probably mostly water weight, but we'll see how it goes. I'll make another video. Peace.